What is good, hunters? Welcome back to another video. In this video I want to look at ways to keep your hunt fresh. And I know in a lot of games it's very hard to do this because it's a game after all. When you have seen it all, you have done it all, it gets pretty old pretty fast. But I feel very strongly of not gimping myself or handicapping myself for the sake of keeping a game fresh. And what I mean by that is intentionally putting yourself at a disadvantage just for the sake of something fresh. Now, if that's what you're into, you're free to do so. But ways that I think you can make the game fresh is 1. Ignoring time. I know a lot of hunters hunt knowing what time these animals eat, drink, sleep, what time they hit up their zones, and they hunt these animals like clockwork. If you hunt this way, obviously the game will get boring, it will get repetitive, and if that's what you like, you can go that way. But if you want something fresh, ignore time. That's what I do. I just load my game up, I go out and I hunt. I don't care what time the animals eat, drink or sleep. I hunt whatever I find. And for me, my sessions are fresh. It's a mystery in many ways. I don't know what's going to happen. I love it. Obviously, if you don't have time on your hands, you're busy, this might not work for you, but it's definitely something you want to try. Next is ignoring need zones. Again, same thing like time. If you know where the animals eat, ignore that in a sense of don't always look for need zones. I mean, there are different types of need zones, so it's not just a glowing tree. I mean, there's stuff on the ground, so at least there's some variety as far as that's concerned. But ignore need zones. Just walk around, you'll catch animals moving back and forth between these different zones, and you can find some really nice opportunities to hunt these animals instead of just waiting for them to get to a need zone. Just free hunting, hunt whatever you find, roam everywhere on the map, and just hunt freely. Another one is just hunting animals you naturally would not hunt. Example for me, I don't like small game. Birds, like pheasants and stuff, I could care less about those animals. I like big game, elk, moose. But recently I have taken interest in small game, just to kind of, again, break up the way I hunt. And I'm really enjoying it. Again, it's not something I will do all the time, but every so often I'm going to dabble in some small game, shoot a couple foxes and such, because again, I find some joy in doing so. This can really add and spice up your hunts a little bit. Try a different weapon. I know this sounds very cliche or whatever, but you'll be surprised of how different these weapons feel, especially like the crossbow. I think it gives you the best of both worlds. It really changes things up a little. So instead of just taking out your rifle and shooting at long range, call the animals in. If you don't want to use your caller, approach the animal in a very strategic way and get closer to the animal within range to use your bow. It's not an easy thing to use. It takes some accuracy, so again, it will add a bit more intensity to your hunts, if that's what you're looking for. Another thing would be fast traveling. Do it less. I know a lot of players will fast travel all over the map, jumping. Remove that and simply fast travel less. Walk the entire map. You'll be surprised as to what you'll find. You'll be surprised as to where certain animals are, where you would least think they would be, just by simply roaming naturally. If you use the Jeep to drive around, use it less. Walk all the way. Again, if you have time to do so, I recommend you do it. It will add some life to your hunts. Next is trying out a different difficulty. Ranger mode, whatever the case may be. Next would be trying out ranger mode, like a different difficulty. If you feel the level that you're hunting at, the difficulty level is probably a bit easy, not as challenging, maybe change a couple things up. Remove the HUD, remove compass, all that kind of stuff from the visual aspect of the game, so you can focus more on different things. It changes the immersion. So again, these are different things you can try. Again, I'm not saying to gimp yourself or handicap yourself just for the sake of fun or whatever. But if that's what you're into, go for it. But here we're just dealing within the natural mechanics of the game, removing certain elements, doing certain things less. And I think this really adds to your hunt. It will spice up your hunt a little bit. It will just make it a little bit less mundane. So let me know what you're thinking, if this is something that you do, if you could care less about that. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening.